The next topic of discussion in this particular unit, this is supposed to be the last part to be dealt in the integral calculus 1, that is comprising of beta and gamma function. So accordingly, we will be discussing about differentiation under the integral sign. This particular heading suggests us that whenever we are given the integration, or we are asked to find out the integral of any particular integrand which contains two different parameters, right? Now, what do you mean by two different parameters? In general, wherever we talk about the integration, it is integration of f of x dx, right? So in that case, whatever it will be a definite integration between the limits a to b, in that case I have to integrate the given integrand, that means the given function, with respect to x positively. But if inside this particular integral sign, if I am able to find the integrand which involves two different parameters, out of which one can be variable, other can be parameter, then in such cases it becomes very difficult for me to judge or decide whether with respect to what variable or the parameter I should integrate the given function, right? So kabhi kabar agar combination of two variables or two symbols or two parameters in general, if you come across with this, surely we will have to apply the concept of differentiation under the integral sign. Now, differentiation of definite integral is ultimately differentiation of under the integral sign. This is what we will be provided with the integral. Uska differentiation यानी क्या? I will be interested in taking down the derivative of it. So therefore it is called as differentiation under the integral sign. Means I will take the derivative of this and bring it inside the integral, and that is how we call it upon as differentiation under the integral sign. So what does this suggest, or what does this tell? If the integrand of a definite integral is a function of not only the variable of integration but other quantities called parameters, then we call this definite integral as a function of parameter. Now, as I said, it is simply not involving only the variable, but simultaneously it is involving certain parameter. Parameter usually is treated as a scalar quantity, यानी constant का ही एक अलग प्रकार है, right? So accordingly, whenever this particular integral of a definite form is not only a function of one variable but other quantities called parameters, then we say that the definite integral in such a case is a function of parameter. Consider a definite integral involving a parameter alpha to be denoted by f of alpha is equal to integral a to b f of x comma alpha dx. This particular function of parameter is nothing but integral a to b f of x comma alpha dx. Now you will say ki sir, this is involving variable as well as parameter, but why it is treated as function of parameter? Because this is a case of definite integral. After doing the integration with respect to x, limit will be put in place of x, and therefore alpha remains as it is, which plays a role of parameter, and hence after performing the integration and putting the limits, upper limit and lower limit, we replace it in place of x. So therefore alpha remains as it is, and hence whatever will be the term left out, that will be the term which is called as function of parameter. So f of either both constants, where a and b are either both constants or both are functions of parameter, hence its derivative with respect to alpha can be written as d by d alpha of f of alpha, which is equal to d by d alpha from a to b f of x comma alpha dx. Now here the limits of integration are a and b. Either these are both constants or these are both functions of parameters. So accordingly we will be differentiating it. Differentiating it means taking the derivative with respect to parameter alpha. So taking down the derivative with respect to alpha is d by d alpha of f of alpha, which is written as d by d alpha of integral a to b f of x comma alpha dx. Clear? So this is how we write down the step. Now depending on this there are two different rules. Now what are those two different rules? Those two different rules are depending on the nature of constants or parameters. That is, we define the particular limit. Now whenever we are differentiating both sides with respect to parameter alpha, this derivative when goes inside the integral becomes partial differentiation or partial derivative. So this d by d alpha. Now why I am taking d by d alpha? Because derivative with respect to only one variable will be calculated or one term will be calculated. That is d by d alpha. Right? When this derivative goes inside, this is a function of two parameters or two variables, and therefore that derivative becomes partial derivative, that is d by d alpha. I hope everybody is now aware of the term partial derivative, and hence we will be simplifying in that manner. So rule number one, Leibniz rule for constant limits of integration. Case number one, when these two limits will be constant. Case number two, when these two limits will be function of parameter. So if f of x comma alpha and del by del alpha of f of x alpha are continuous functions of x and alpha, then d by d alpha, this should be alpha, d by d alpha of f of alpha is d by d alpha integral a to b f of x comma alpha dx, and this becomes d by d alpha of f of x comma alpha dx, where a and b are constants independent of alpha. We will be integrating after taking down the derivative with respect to alpha. Accordingly, second rule is Leibniz rule for limits of integration as function of parameter. If f of x comma alpha and d dx of f of x comma alpha are continuous functions of x and alpha, then d by d alpha of parameter phi of alpha to psi of alpha f of x alpha dx is integral derivative to be taken appropriately from for the given function, plus function में अपर लिमिट x के जगह पुट करोगे psi of alpha into d psi by d alpha minus lower limit in place of x is phi of alpha comma alpha into d phi by d alpha. Now what are these? These are nothing but the terms available to us as phi and psi must possess continuous first order derivatives, because we are writing this. Here you make a correction, this is derivative with respect to alpha for the given function, and whatever it is, then lastly we integrate with respect to x and put the limit. So in this case, whenever this derivative goes inside the integral, it becomes partial derivative, and this function is differentiated partially with respect to alpha, and then it will be integrated with respect to x, putting the limits as psi of alpha and phi of alpha, because these are parameters, plus additional terms what we have to bring over here, function of psi of alpha comma alpha into d psi by d alpha minus function of phi of alpha comma alpha into d phi by d alpha, that is upper limit minus lower limit and their respective derivatives of the parameters which will be taken with respect to alpha. So in this case, psi and phi must possess continuous first order derivatives with respect to alpha, and that is how we try to simplify Leibniz rule number 2, where it is function, that is limits are functions of parameter alpha, and here the limits are constant limits of integration, and we apply the Leibniz rule. So this is all regarding the This is all regarding Leibniz rule, which is specifically mentioned for the differentiation under the integral